lineups as well, Daki. Oh, and the Bulldog's out.
Yeah, the M41 Bulldog, we probably will be using that with the single shooter. I'd be surprised if he uses the autoloader because the way the gun stats are right now, it kind of forces people to use the single shooter to be more effective. Double E50M, one E50M on the side of eClipse, which is not a surprise. We have seen that. But this Tornado Energy lineup in general is very, very, very aggressive. It looks like they want to go play in the center. They want to take a fight, a straight fight against eClipse.
Yep, and it's going to be interesting. We see E50M. Do you see Daki in the lineup?
So the Bulldog does have the autoloader gun. Okay, interesting. Well, perhaps in ESL it's better because it can get the burst damage out.
Yep.
In randoms, it's almost better to use the single shooter now. But as predicted, Tornado Energy leaving nothing up to the test, going straight aggressive.
This positioning from eClipse is quite strange. You've kind of staggered out on that road there, and they've all been spotted out by Neski, who's going to run away and say, guys, they are all over here. Please reposition yourselves.
And the damage on the 263 is significant.
Drawcup is getting dropped
He's
right
dead.
now. Lidif is getting shot as well. He is ammo racked to try and focus shots out. They're still connecting here with Drawcup and Lidif right now. They're isolated from the rest of their team who is over the rails. They cannot give them any fire support. Lidif is safe at the moment. Oh, they're shooting through the tanks. That's an amazing angle
The entire
to get.
Eclipse team is standing still.
This looks like it might be a restart then because Eclipse are doing nothing.
Yeah.
I smell a restart. And looks like Tornado are now not moving as well. So...
It's, the game's called whoever moves first loses.
Maybe a T-Rex was on the battlefield we just couldn't see because you know their movement, their vision is based on movement.
Yeah, but that would be their vision, not ours.
No, the T-Rex vision is based on movement. So if the tanks don't move, then the T-Rex can't see it.
But we would be able to see it.
Well, maybe it's the stealthy T-Rex.
Doesn't exist.
Have you ever seen one before? Then how do you know they don't exist?
Because I believe in God's creation.
Oh, not this argument again.
You're checkmate, mate.
You don't need to prove it exists. I don't need to prove it exists. You just need to prove it doesn't exist. Okay.
That's not how this works.
Okay. That's a good argument. We could debate that when we're drunk next time. Who would win, a T-Rex or a tank? Obviously, the tank's going to win. Let's be honest, you know. But an invisible T-Rex, maybe. Like, okay, moving swiftly back onto the topic.
Yeah, the
Budavanka.
teams can't really change the lineups, and they can't.
They can't because
The
they
thing
were
is,
spotted.
Tornado Energy has to change the tactic, though. Can't really try back into the middle
Push
again.
into that area, yeah. So what happens when there is a restart is if no vehicles are spotted. No. You're allowed to restart if nobody's spotted for whatever personal reason.
Well,
if it's a technical issue, then you're allowed. Then there's still a restart, but you can't change the lineups because the lineups.
You can't change the
already,
lineup no matter what. And if it's a technical issue and not on the fault of Eclipse, then the round gets restarted no matter what. We don't want
Is
these
there not a
teams.
way for it to go like it's a win for one way or something like that? Something happens?
No, that's only if the team's
No, there's
already
something.
up on
If you're
time.
spotted and you wanted to call it for whatever reason, you can't.
Then you
Like if
just-
somebody says,
the-
"Oh no, I've got the wrong
No,
ammo
because
type."
the teams have to wait for the admin to call restart.
Yeah,
so,
so they
the
can't
admin-
just stop playing.
They
yeah.
can't stop playing. They would just lose the round then.
Yeah.
I mean, they would just die.
Yeah.
So
So
there's
there
that.
must be some kind of technical thing happened there to cause a restart. I'm looking here and okay, I can see why, but we will get that match underway as quick as possible. Now, looking here, Prokhorovka is the first time we've seen it today in 3 different matches. Why do you think teams have been avoiding it?
Because it's the usual 1-1 map, I guess, and teams want to still play on maps where they can win. That's what I would say. Or teams are not feeling comfortably on Prokhorovka. It depends on the amount of training you get on each map, which is something we can't know. It depends on what you want to train, what your training partner wants to train, and how much you feel you can match up in Prokhorovka. Prokhorovka is a hard map to break the defensive side on. You rather pick something like Ghost Town. Even Morovanka is a easier break of the defensive side, I'd say, than Prokhorovka, because it's still a gamble on Prokhorovka no matter what. You can make an eastern side play, and the defender can have a trap over there, which means you instantly lose the round. You can make a 1-2 line play, and they can be all around the corner waiting for you. They can be really lucky.
Guys, everyone's here.
And then, they could be all around the corner, and you could instantly
Sorry,
lose the
Heiber.
round as well, They could be really lucky.
Prepare yourself for a prolonged fight. It's so bad. That's the best highlight we've ever done all season. Poor Kazna crew trying to push up 1-2 line when Ding were waiting on them. Exactly what just happened in the previous round, and it was read by Ding.
head-to-head between these two teams?
Yes, let's actually have a look at them head-to-head. I mean, it's pretty much going to be dominating from Tornado, but it is interesting to see, you know, their best map, their worst map.
Yeah, but their best and their worst map, there's not a lot of difference
Hawk
between
is
that.
actually their worst map.
Can you call it their worst map, though, if they still have 43%?
Actually, yes, because it's below 50.
But we know teams that have, like, 20% win ratio on a map.
True. Some
or,
teams have
or 0%
really
over
bad.
like 8 to 10 rounds. So
Interesting as well that eClipse have a fairly balanced attack and defense.
yeah, but you have to imagine that Tornado Energy also kind of plays against
Divide teams.
higher, no, not divide teams, but higher class teams almost. Higher competition.
Higher caliber.
Where in NA they have two really good teams, which is Eclipse and Elevate. For example, in CIS they have like 6. So you're obviously going to lose more rounds, and Tornado Energy is one of those teams that during the regular season, let's just say, sometimes lets their performance down a little bit. They don't win and they don't do any damage. So that's sometimes an issue with them. They always perform at the finals, though, which is another issue.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, how do you prepare going up against something like Tornado Energy?
You pray. You go to your local church shop, you buy candles.
Or whichever religion, if you're not just,
Of course.
Okay,
but you go there, you get a candle, and then you pray for a week straight.
Pray to Aaron Jesus.
Pray to anybody.
Aaron Jesus loves all, you know, and he also hates all, to be honest.
Moradzor, anybody.
Anybody,
honestly.
Yeah. Now, here we go again. Obviously, lineups are the exact same. Zim's going to be playing the Hawk, Drawcap, and the Object 263. Hopefully, Drawcap will survive a bit longer than he did.
But he was still alive.
If Nesky
He was still alive in the end.
Wow, okay, survive longer than he did. He was about to go down. Nesky, I wonder if he's going to go down the same spotting route in that Bulldog. We did talk about it previously, about how it is an effective scout. You said it was really good. Now, eClipse attacking from the blue side with their blue and yellow camouflage. Tornado are going to be defending with their awesome dark camouflage that they've got. It's like a dark grey and their little motto on the side of it. It really does stand out and look awesome.
Yeah, no new tactics coming out here for the side, but from both sides they're actually doing exactly the same thing, except for this time Drog will not be...
He's spotted. Nesky takes damage going over the hill, and Zim's going to chase him down, just going to auto-shoot him.
Yeah, but Nesky is going to win this straight if Zim goes straight for him, and he has some help from the side.
He's stuck on the rails. He tried to jump over and didn't make it. Nesky's going to go down there. He tried to jump over the low carriage and didn't make it, and is taken out.
Yeah, but I'd say Tornado's positioning is still a little bit better because Eclipse used shots, and now they're going to push in.
This aggression here from Tornado, they're just going to push in and try and take down the tank. Apo out on the front line here being focused. He's ammo-racked, he's about to go down, he's 101 health, but he's still surviving as Tornado rally the troops and get around him. Tiger's going around the back, he gets taken out by Near You as Nuclear takes down Exo. Tornado circling the wagons here, trying to defend what they can as Eclipse are just shooting into them. There's nowhere else for Tornado to go. Griffon taking out Dark God Zim at the top, and now Griffon can get angles into the tanks of Eclipse here. This is a good old-fashioned brawl at the moment. Server retreating back over the rails. Can Eclipse win this one, Daki?
Maybe, but I don't think so. Diador might be able to get one more shot here off, and he does. Well, Nuclear picks it up, and Griffon was clipping from the side as well. And look at the HP dropping on the Eclipse side. This is the individual skill we talked about, but Nuclear is still ammo-racked, and that might blow up at any moment in time.
Diador goes down, Photo Finish gets the kill on him. Nuclear's coming down round the back of Drawcap, who's actually just tracked him and stops him turning on him. Drawcap's going to turn around in a moment. Griffon is on a reload now. It's all going to be what Griffon comes off of the reload, and where can he get his focus fire on? Server is safe on the other side of the rails. Drawcap actually can be the biggest thorn in his side, and Eclipse might actually be picking this one up. It all depends on what Griffon can do.
Yeah, they have to be careful though, because Griffon is reloaded and right now, and if he can get a nice clip on towards the tanks now from the side of Eclipse, this could be going a little bit different.
Photo Finish goes down, Griffin's going to clip out, he doesn't have enough to kill everyone. Drawcap can get a shot into him, T1 Diabetic's going to use him as cover. 5-3-9 there from T1 Diabetic. Drawcap's going to chase him, Griffon with one shot left. T1 Diabetic can chase him down. Can Griffon get the kill on T1 Diabetic, though it's dangerous. Bold play from Diabetic here because Drawcap can get circled completely by
Griffon needs to go for T1 Diabetic and pick him up, and that's exactly what he's going for. A non-damaging shot, and he's still safe from draw. Griffon with the individual plays here. Ooh, he has to hug the E50M, though he needs to get a lower plate shot. He does!
Great play there from Griffin. Now he can just run away. Drawcap needs to get a shot on him. He needs to keep chasing him. This is a dangerous thing. He needs to pressure hard. Drawcap has a damaged engine. Tornado are defending. Griffin needs to just run and hide.
Well, both these guys are going to be hoping that their repair kits come back rather quickly because Drak needs that engine and Griffon needs that ammo rack because he still has 50 seconds left before he's reloading. But the bad shot
Unspotted.
is unspotted, and that's the thing, and he's still defending. Griffon with the plays, and this was such a weird round because both teams did exactly the same thing as before, but they're obviously kind of going to adapt to what's happening.
Draw has a rough idea. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't expect the bat chat to go high. I would expect the bat chat to go low, but by now he is always in a bush. Sneaky, sneaky bat chat. The thing is he's not a one-shot. So Drock has to be really careful. Oh, he's exposing his side. It's going to be GG. He's spotted. He doesn't know where he's spotted from.
Griffon is not reloaded.
Drock's going completely the wrong way.
Griffon shouldn't fire until he knows that Drock won't have the time to turn around. He's going to double bush him even. He should double
Get that
bush him.
tracking shot for the first one.
No, just double bush him. He won't be able to spot him. But he can also not fire. Drock just went behind the hill. This is such a close fight between these two, one-on-one, and Griffon wants to chase him down.
Way around. He must know he's got his butt to him.
No, because he didn't know exactly where he got spotted from. He could have been spotted from A7 as well.
Oh, Griffon, sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. He's spotted now as well. Drock's like, oh, misses with the first one. He's going to turn. He's going to try and get up. Griffin's going to get this one. Drock's going to just get over. Nope, he doesn't. Griffon with the multi-kill, picking up 4. We can see there.
So excited.
Super serious. Tornado, super excited with that one. Oh, there's a little bit of a delay. Oh, they're happy now. Okay.
Oh, they're happy now. So, yeah, it's a live feed. There's a little bit of delay. But good stuff there from Griffon, honestly. But thinking about it, there's a few things there. We could have changed the fight. Nuclear being ammo racked. That would have been 2 extra shots from him, to be honest. And he bounced one on towards the E50M from the side of eClipse, who was a one-shot at the time, who then obviously survived. And then there's a few more things which changed around. Non-connection in towards Griffon from the E50M, who tracked
exactly what
him,
I was going to say. And
but also the engine damage on Drock.
Yeah, I was also going to say the fact that when Griffon pushed over into the E50M, he didn't try and shoot him frontally. Like, he pushed over, he held that shot, then he went round him,
Drock
and then forced the face hug to shoot him in the lower plate.
Drock did 4.4. Griffon actually wanted to get on the side of the E50M first.
But
afterwards he couldn't get it. He just drove away from him.
Get the lower plate. It was nicely
maybe
done.
they thought he was reloading because I don't know. But yeah, it was a nice play from Griffon there, winning the round.
Closer than we thought it could have gone.
Saving my prediction. Yeah, it's always weird though if you already saw the lineup of the enemy, you already kind of saw the initial play, and then
know what they're going to do.
You need to replay the round. It's a different dynamic, honestly.
Yep. Now the teams are going to swap positions. So this time it's going to be Tornado Energy on the defense. We're going to see eClipse on the attack. Nope, it's the other way around. Sorry, my bad.
eClipse on the defense.
eClipse on the defense, and it's going to be Tornado on the attack. T32 here coming out from eClipse. That's going to be Dark God Zim. 4 bat chats, a mouse, a 113. Now for Tornado, we've seen Object 416, double Gorilla. Okay, so we were talking about that earlier on. 2 bat chats, then 2 113s. Okay.
Well, double Gorilla is a little bit older meta, but can still work. We have still seen teams use it. They're obviously not defending. The STRV is usually used for the defending team, which would be eClipse, and they don't have one, so they have to have plan. The T32 can be used for a few things, right? He can be put on A8 if you're going to defend 1-2 line, but you can also just leave him in the 5 line as the bait, as the tank you need to push onto. He can reset the cap, he can play there. He has a pretty strong turret, not impenetratable for these high caliber tanks, but it's going to be an Eastern clash between these two.
It's going to be another quick fight. These teams reading each other well.
No, I wouldn't say it's going to be a quick fight. I wouldn't say that.
Well,
I wouldn't go that far.
The engagement's going to happen on this side of the map rather than
Tornado
1,
can
2,
still
3,
rotate.
4, 5.
Tornado can still rotate out of this if they want to.
Lots of tanks spotted. T1 Diabetic not spotted, so Tornado know exactly where all the tanks of eClipse are. Are we going to see Neski going to make a push up towards the middle area, perhaps opposite Dark God Zim?
But all these batches are spotted, so Griffon needs to be careful because he got spotted out. But look at the damage taken; it's already significant.
Double shot going in there to Tigers. He loses his gunner as well for that one.
They're going to try and clip out on Nuclear, all of them. They're going to stand still and try and clip out this 113. He's in trouble.
He's going to start moving. There's already 1 shot going into him, 2 shots, 3 shots coming into him. Griffon is in a lot of trouble here, actually. He's taking hits for Nuclear, because Nuclear's hiding behind him and Griffon's in spotted.
So far, so good, though. They're still alive, but they're going to have to make a reaction. Double Gorilla spotted out, and it did the damage to Dark God Zim.
Dark God Zim taking an absolute beating there in the middle. He's lost his radio man, that doesn't matter, but he's down to 300 health in his T32. Deodor and Near You are going to pick up something in a minute. Probably going to fire one back over.
Napowa going very aggressive in his 113. The damage is being done though by Tornado, and the Gorillas are pushing up, so they're going to try and kill these bad shots.
Batchat's now on reload. Exo's about to come off reload, but this is going to be too little too late because Trevor can come over and start shooting into him. Reddit goes down, Near You gets the shot into him. They're going to try and focus back into Near You. Trevor's going to stay down there and just die for his troubles. Exo's able to clip out into him. Applewell now can come over with the single shooter and get shots into Exo as Deodor's going to come down after reload and kill Exo here. One more shot. There we go, that's one for Deodor. So Tornado only lost one tank at Server and a Batchat, whereas eClipse only have 2 tanks left, which is Drawcap and the Mouse. Photo finish at 113, and this is going to be comfortably first 2 rounds to
Look
Tornado.
at these plays from Tornado. They have some serious cojones to do this kind of stuff. Like, let's be real about it. Double Gorilla pushing over the 0 line. I don't think that eClipse expected that, but it was the correct play from Tornado though. They had to go aggressive because their 113s were in trouble in the middle area. Griffon was in trouble, but pushing with Gorillas like that, perfect timing as well because the Batchats were still on reload. They took the damage from the Gorillas, Server coming over, sacrificing himself, and that was just it. They killed 4 Batchats in 15 seconds.
Yep, very quick round. It's over here in 3 minutes and 1 second. A little bit of a delay. 1, 2, 3. Say hello, guys, and say yay.
It's more than 3 seconds.
Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. Yay. Fist bumps all round. We're so happy.
It's more like 6, 7
It's
seconds.
just like, no problems. They're always the handshakes, fist bumps, everything like that. But yeah.
Hey, well casted.
I'll cast again. There we go.
Mojo?
Mojo? Sorry, mate.
But yeah, Tornado Energy, they're Nuclear in a lot of trouble, but good positioning there to save himself. We have players that would sit there and try and take the damage and survive. Nuclear obviously not one of those moving forward. Probably one of the best heavy tank players from the CIS region. Griffon getting spotted again and then almost going down. Luckily enough, surviving just behind the house.
I like the fact that they shot him when they were trying to get
No, he didn't.
Was he spotted?
He was spotted. There's a bush at the house, and he tried to peek through the bush to spot, but there were the Batchats from eClipse were already in position to spot him, and he did that. So he got spotted, he got wrecked, but then realizing the Batchats on reload, pushing with 2 Gorillas like that.
It's bold. And the Batchat
it's very bold.
Him,
Surfer, taking all the attention. The Mouse and the 113 and the T32 really didn't get to do much. Zim made a mistake to begin with because he got shot by both Gorillas. Something that really shouldn't happen. And then Nesquik just cleaned them up at one point. He could have done maybe more, but enough to save the round? I don't think so.
Yep, so very quickly done there from Tornado. We're going to go into our next round, which is going to be Himmelsdorf. No offense to Eclipse, we're expecting this one to be a 2-0, just generally because, well, you just don't, take Russian teams on Himmelsdorf.
But this is Tornado in a nutshell, though. EL Gaming is aggressive, but Tornado can be even worse than that in terms of aggression. First round, full aggression. They just counter-pushed over the rail at one point. This round, again, initial position, all aggressive rush. This is something teams like Eclipse are not used to, but teams that just come straight at you. In terms of what I've seen in the North American region, the teams are usually a little bit slower reaction-wise compared to the CIS teams, where you can see Tornado is just like on the ball, in the game instantly.
Okay, now talk us through this lineup here from Eclipse.
Well, Borsig, he can have the big gun. For Alpha, it has heat as well, 750 Alpha if it's the big one. The other one's the Yak Tiger gun. Let's see, is that the stubby one? Dark God Team has, yeah, it's the big one. It's the 750 Alpha combined with 2 E3s. This is, I'm going to park my bus and I'm going to hope you're going to drive against it.
Yeah, it's going to be like, hey, we're going to just stay here in the corner and come get us. Tigers is going all the way aggressive. He's all the way down at F1, G1 already.
But look at this. Tornado Energy setting up in K5-6. They want to punish the crossing, and they will.
T1 Diabetic is spotted going across the crossing. No one connects, though. He gets tracked. No other shots coming in. He is actually in a dangerous position here. Drawcab is not going to go across behind him.
I thought that he was going to get punished more than that. I like the play here from Tornado Energy in the beginning. Oh.
Griffon! Oh, 829. The counterfire coming back. Ouch.
That's got a sting. But that's a beautiful shot there from T1 Diabetic, though. Feel like he should have taken at least one shot of damage there, but you know, it actually worked in their favor. Not bad, not bad
Nicely
whatsoever.
done. Yeah, he's got the building to give himself a bit of cover there. Fires one
I have
back.
only one question: how exactly are they going to plan to defend that number 2 base? Like, if they start capping, who is going to stop that one? Wait, oh, okay.
Zim was in front of him.
Zim is a shield for the E3, so he can block
Okay.
off. He can block off the 5 line. If only the E3 turret was turret. If only the E3 superstructure was
Impenetrable.
impenetrable. Exactly.
Yeah.
Isn't there also impact? Whatever.
Impregnable.
Impregnable.
There
That
we
one
go,
was I
yeah.
was looking for. But this E3.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Like,
Yeah, but
lineup.
it's still pennable. You see there under the gun, you can pen it for 1, and then there's also how do you call it? It's those lamps or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like this. What is this called here?
That's the driving lights. Go for the aim for the driving lights. You can get
Aim for the driving lights, yes,
just
because
get underneath
behind.
the superstructure.
So yeah, where you see those lights that
Yeah.
on bottom left of the gun, behind that there's a little bit of no armor,
Yeah.
or pretty much no armor because it goes like it's a ball area behind it,
Yeah.
which is an easy pen. And then also the E3, you have the cupola, right? And most people will always shoot for the tiny
Machine
little
gun,
gun,
yeah.
right? That's the mistake. You have, if you look at it, there's an armor plate on the cupola of
Bottom.
the E3.
Yep.
On the bottom, on both corners of that little armor plate on the cupola is a pennable shot. Also, the outsides of the cupola are again weak spots on this tank. It's not invincible whatsoever.
Just knowing where to shoot it is always the
Yeah, because
the trick.
most people shoot for center cupola, or you have to aim for outside cupola or just under the just above the top of the turret. Well, superstructure.
Now, Tornado are all going up on the hill here at the moment. Oh, Exo is on fire.
What just happened to him?
Whoa, he just got smacked at the front of his vehicle there. Double mouse shooting across at him, hit him, and then the damage was dripping down there. So he poked his nose out, and it looked like someone got shot in the front of him into the engine area.
Checking who did the damage, and it was Diador in the E3.
It's into the fuel tank, actually, because they had
So-
a damaged fuel tank there.
Exo has now 1,303 HP. He took one hit from a 50B, and he took one hit from Diador, which burned him for about 750 because he took 1,464 from one shot from Diador in that E3.
Ouch.
So that is not a good start. I'm not sure why he was peeking like that over there.
I think at the time they didn't quite know where all the tanks of Tornado are,
Yeah,
whereas
but-
now they do.
We already talked about it. The E3 is mainly going to be on the hill. That's HE.
HE 151. Bold.
But look at this. Tornado Energy is starting to clear out step by step. That E3 was...
Just creep up
Yeah,
the map.
the E3 was on that rubble pile, and they expected it. Diador already had HE loaded. He punished him. Now they're going to be working towards the cap. This is the question I have. How do they plan to reset this cap? Because yes, Dark God Zim can be a shield for T1 Diabetic. But if he wants to get to A7 with that shield, it doesn't work because he would have to expose his side armor to go around the corner.
Yeah, they've got all the
There's a
angles.
big- there's a
they've
big
got all the
opening
angles
here.
blocked, but they don't have the angle coming in from the B line.
It's a big opening here. The cap will start. What does eClipse do now? Because honestly, I don't see a way for them for this going well. Nesquik is on the cap. Nuclear will shield him. Will come in front of him, block him off. That way he cannot be resetted. And now, how do they?
How
on
do they get
Earth-
around to
how,
reset?
how do they get a reset? A good one.
Because they can't send anyone up along the A line because they'll get taken out on the crossing. They can't come round the bottom.
Now this is what I want to see. What happens here? Dark God Zim will go sideways. That is cool, right?
Just gonna push
But
him.
how is T1 Diabetic going to reset Nesquik? Because if he turns around the corner,
He'll get shot from the hill.
he will get shot in his side. Now this is, I don't think this is really gonna work.
This is some weird partnership thing. It's like, don't worry, Zim. Oh, wait a minute, he backed off. Oh, that's bad.
He
That's
still
a
has
really
to.
bad
He still
positioning.
has to turn his armor, and,
Yep. They're not focusing on the E3 though. That's what they need to focus on.
and Nuclear is just gonna block this wreck.
Nuclear's just going to say, okay, like we've got a wreck now that's going to cover Nesquik. You don't have any shots into him.
Just look at the damage being taken as well, and the cap is still on. They haven't gotten the reset yet. Diador is still blocking off T1 Diabetic.
Diabetic's now
This is
getting
what I'm
shot
talking
by-
about.
by Diador.
Diador is shooting T1 Diabetic in the side every time he's gonna do this. They're trading so badly for this.
server being focused on at the moment.
He was
but
on fire.
He doesn't matter. He's got Nuclear can now just step into the place and take shots now as well. Drawcab's having to back off. Meanwhile, at the bottom, they're trying to push into Applewell and near you with the overmatch of the tanks from eClipse, but the guys in the cap circle, well, they just can't hold on to this fight much longer. T1 Diabetics having to brute force his way around the corner into Nesqui. Nesqui desperately needs to cap. He's going to get the reset, which he does. Now, Tornado taking a lot of damage for this, but eClipse have already lost 3 tanks. They're about to lose their 4th one, which is Exo. He's surviving right now on 35 health. Nope, he goes down now. Photo finish, just got ammo racked and repaired that. 3 tanks left to 7 of Tornado, and that's GG for this one.
That's exactly what I talked about. What do they do when Tornado Energy approaches that number 2 base? How does that Borsig work out for them as a shield? Because you saw it. T1 Diabetic pushed the Borsig around the corner, but as soon as he does that, Diodor in his E3 peeks from E0 and shoots him in the side. Now this is a strategy that works against the numerous of things, but not the most obvious one.
Yeah. And, well, Tornado just on cleanup duty at the moment. Leadif is the only person left. Diodor picks up double kill. That's 7 people surviving. Again, you'll see Tornado Energy just explode with joy at picking up this win. Never seen a team look so happy. Look at that. He's sitting in that seat really strange, isn't he?
He's just chilling.
He was doing that at Grand Finals, I think, as well. Not Grand Finals, season finals, he was sitting like that.
But yeah, clean win from Tornado. The damage on Exo in the beginning doesn't really matter, even if we talk about the strategy. They did it step for step. They cleaned out for the finish with HE from Diodor. If he stays there, he's going to get wrecked at one point. And then they go onto the cap. They have a mouse shield in the backshot. But even if the mouse is not there, then I still don't think T1 Diabetic can come around the corner. He comes around the corner once. Just once he comes around the corner, and he will lose 1,600 HP instantly. It is not a good setup to defend that number 2 base. I feel like there's missing an IS-4 even in this.
Yeah, the IS-4 would normally set up above it, yeah.
If the IS-4 was at A6, like we saw, was it Navi? Yeah, was it Navi? Yeah, it was Navi.
Yeah, it was
Navi, where Kryloid was. If the IS-4 and A6, then he can reset fine. But like this, they were missing the tank that can reset that corner.
And the minute you know that there's no tank able to do that, then that's the immediate tactic that says, okay guys, let's push into that area because no one can reset.
Yeah, so I feel like they were missing that A6 tank. I don't know if they forgot about it or it wasn't in the plan.
Or they just didn't expect Tornado to push into that area.
But they were for sure missing it, to be honest. So
I mean, they look completely chilled. They look super relaxed.
They have nothing to be nervous about.
And like I said at the season finals, they looked the most relaxed. They looked the most comfortable. They were just enjoying their time here. Now, we do see an artillery coming out here for eClipse and Type 5 Heavy.
For the people that are unaware, I strongly believe at least. We?
Daki, you.
Well, we strongly believe that the RT with a decent splash range, such as the GW Tiger P, such as the M40, such as the school bus, which is the SU-14-2, it looks like a school bus.
Like this one that is being used right now by eClipse?
Yeah. This one on attack has a different role, obviously, than defense. On defense, we believe it can splash the cap and reset. On the attack, it can do damage, right, to people and windows and such. But the main strength about it, or was about it, is it can function as a shield. You can block off an entire cap with it, pretty much. You can cap behind it, for example. This might be the plan for eClipse. We have to see. Maybe they just took him to do damage, because he can obviously shoot on towards the rails as well.
From his position, it seems to be that he's still over
at G9. He hit Diodor, so...
Diodor get hits already, and is that an ammo rack?
No, it's a loader.
Okay, I can never remember.
Loader is red, ammo rack is yellow.
Okay, I thought it was just one's vertical, one's horizontal.
Yeah, that too, but the color is the difference as well.
Okay. Because if it stays red, then it's a loader, because no one's going to leave an ammo.
Yeah, but ammo rack never...
No one's going to leave just as Diodor...
Ammo rack turning red would mean it would be blown up.
Blown up, yeah, okay.
So.
Okay. Just a test, Daki. Of course I knew.
But yeah, he could shoot the rails, where you can see Tornado Energy's response is just to hug the walls. If this is exactly what eClipse want, we'll have to find out.
Near you gets spotted out there by Tigers.
Oh!
Photo finish eliminates Near you with not the one shot, but the second shot.
That
is why you bring a Type 5 Heavy.
I don't know what Near you is doing there. What?
He's
What?
getting destroyed. That's what he's doing there. What a hit! What a hit! Brilliant there from Photo Finish. Near you took one in the butt from Tigers, and then Photo Finish just came in and said, "Good night, sweet prince. See you in the next round."
Yeah, good play there. Near you,
Damage dealt 1,408.
shots done. One. Juan.
Juan, well done. Yeah, we talked about this when they made the changes recently to the Type 5 Heavy. It was said, you know, you take a Type 5 Heavy, if it can connect and get through the Batchat armor, it's a one-shot. It will absolutely annihilate it. And there you go. Absolute monster of a shot.
I'd say Tornado is in severe danger.
This is like, what happened? Like
They need some real energy here to make it through this round because RT is going to work on them for the next 7 minutes.
Actually, Dark God Zim could have quite a nice angle from
You know
there.
what's the issue right now for Tornado Energy? That eClipse does have that Type 5 Heavy. If they would play A7 with the IS-4...
Zim shot, and he got the shot into Griffin and Server, exactly as I said he was going to aim
Yeah,
over
but
into.
if, let's just say eClipse would rotate back towards the eastern side, a Type 5 would be able to take out A7. So Apple is trying to spot more ahead. It's slightly worrying for Tornado. Let's just see, because it depends a little bit on Eclipse. Because we have seen Tornado win rounds where they were one tank down, and reminiscent is Championship Rumble where Ding killed the full FVTD on mines before the game even started, and then I think Tornado survived with 4 or 5 tanks.
Yep. So it's good that they've got a lead here, Eclipse. Exactly the start they would have wanted, especially like, you know, the power play of the Type 5 Heavy, just like erasing a tank off the battlefield there.
This SU-14-2 has like 30 seconds reload, looking at it. Obviously, the alternate artillery view really does help for this because obviously before we still do have a no mod modification policy. Ooh, bad trades, Ledev. We do have a no modification policy, which means that the battle assistant mod.
Oh, Diabetic getting shot at there from Apple. Wow.
Which means that the battle assistant mod was forbidden.
Was not allowed yet.
Obviously, but now, like looking at Dark God Zim and the way he's aiming, he can now use that to like try and get shells through the windows.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing right now.
Sometimes he might get to the wall, but
to the windows, to the wall. No, I'm not going to go on with that line. Okay, so draw cap here, moving up the Banana Road with EXO behind him. Tornado setting out their defense. They're kind of stuck up into the top left corner. They don't really have any angles externally from that, so it is going to allow Eclipse to progress across the battlefield and just really continue the shot from Dark God Zim here to continue to pressure them.
I don't know if I like this rotation coming out from the side of Eclipse towards the eastern side. It depends on what they want to do with it, right? If they want to go for that number 2 base, I'm not going to be too happy. Because I feel like their advantage is in 1-2 line right now. The issue is going to be for them towards that eastern side. You have Nuclear and Apple holding there, which is going to be trouble if you try and push that.
So the double mouse constantly spotted. They are in that area. There's nothing they can really do. Diodor further up behind them, covering down the rails. That's going to be really interesting. Now, T1 Diabetic actually has shots down onto the mouse. Has to be careful not to get shot back at the moment. Tigers is keeping that area lit in the bottom of the courtyard. Now, Photo Finish is moving up towards the Banana Road, and Dark God Zim is repositioning as well, Daki.
Yeah, Dark God Zim is going to be moving over, perhaps back towards the church, because from the church he's going to be able to shoot the 5-line crossing. Ooh, Ledev, mate. Need to stop making these plays.
He's bleeding
Although
HP.
that's a good play from Diodoro. It's a risky play, but a good one from that E3 coming out. He knows that they're probably not going to come towards 1-2 lines, so he sets up to shoot the 8-line Ledev. Obviously, there has to go towards the rest of the team and gets punished on that crossing. And this is a rotation from Tornado Energy. Server and Griffon are going to be going back, and I feel like Tornado, rotation-wise, is ahead of Eclipse right now.
Yeah, I mean, Tornado coming back round to cover into the number 2 base. We're down to less than 4 minutes left, so if Eclipse are going to make a play, they're going to have to do something soon.
Yeah, this is going to be a interesting. But now eClipse is rotating again, and Drock. Oh, is that Diador again?
Drawcap taking over 800 in the rear there as he starts to back off. And that looked like it was Diador
It
who
was
got the shot in
Diador,
there. Yep.
and Diador obviously has binoculars on his tank as well. But I think this time it was Nesqui spotting for him. Well, I can check that as well. To be honest,
Have a quick check of the
like 852 assisted by Nesqui in the batch at 12T. So some teamwork coming out there between the two, and this is the issue. This is the issue for eClipse. They're taking too long. Where you see Tornado Energy on the last 3 rounds, very decisive, very quickly. eClipse gets the decisive lead in this round from the beginning, and has now continued to bleed HP across the board without making a move. And again,
Drawcap, again, you're in the pocket here. Nesqui getting shot at there, just manages to get himself in safely there, but I mean, this is all a one-man show at the moment from Tornado, and it's all coming
Tigers
from
is going to take one. Watch this. Tigers going to take one as well.
Tigers gets a double tap there for his troubles as he gets pushed up into that area. The double mouse now right in front of him. Tigers is going to go down for this. Now, actually, he might be able to survive with this. No, he's stuck.
Tracked.
He's going nowhere. He's tracked in his ammo rack. Next shot's going to kill him. Diador now picks up Drawcap. I mean, he's been farming him all match right now as Nuclear's now going to come round in his E3.
Tigers is still alive for now, but the question is how long will that be? Diador has a small shot on towards him, but Griffon picks it up. And what is going on here for eClipse? What are they doing? Honestly, they're going eastern side, they're coming back, and then they try some desperate 1-2 line play when they've already let Tornado get in position.
It looks like everything they wanted to do, Tornado were already expecting it and were ahead of them each time. 612 damage from photo finish here, but I mean, it's just not working out in their favour. Now there's face hugging going on at the top between Apple Wow and I think it's T1 Diabetic.
Did he flip him? Yes, he did. He pushed him into the wall. Oh, proper to the window, to the wall. Apple Wow is like bullying this bad shot right now. This is not a good trade whatsoever. Diador smells blood in the water. He is doing such an insane amount of damage. He's at 4.7 and he's about to rack up another 750.
This is going south for eClipse and going south super quickly. They had a nice positioning in this battle. They had a bit of control in the battle, getting a quick kill onto near you, but since doing that, they've done nothing for that. Diador now is pushing 5.4k damage in his tank. Now we're seeing 6.1. He is a one-man machine right now for Tornado, and eClipse are in his pocket.
Highest damage dealing round so far, by far, Diador from Tornado, showing everybody how it's done in the E3. 6,200 damage on that E3, and his teammates should let him get EXO as well, to be honest. Oh, stealing damage feels bad, man.
Diador with the double kill. He does pick up the kill at the end. There's only Dark God Sim left in the school bus. He's going to go for the shot. Nope! Griffin picks him up, and that was a convincing win for Tornado in what was the worst possible start they had, and now they are sitting pretty. Match point 4-0.
That was impressive, especially from Diador. He did a grand total of 6,250 damage in that round, which is amazing, which is probably going to be the highest damage dealing round throughout the grand finals.
One of the highest I've ever seen in Himmelsdorf.
I want to point out that in the beginning of the game, Nearyu died with 0 damage, and Tornado continued to lose 0 tanks after that. They survived with 6 tanks. eClipse, what is there to say? Honestly, getting such an advantage and throwing it away, dear friends, you have a Type 5 Heavy, you have an artillery piece as well. You could have easily attacked the eastern side, went through the 8 line. This is what eClipse should have done. They had the Type 5 Heavy, right? Push down the 8 line. The Type 5 Heavy splashes the IS-4 to death over time. Tornado will be forced to make a reaction. Losing 2 to 10s would be the end of that round, but not what they did. Should have gone down the 8 line, should have used the RT to perhaps make a shield somewhere on the cap, anywhere on the cap really. The RT could have driven from the 0 line into the A line. The mouse could have pushed them on towards the cap, and they could have put a Bacha there completely safe, and they would have won that round. Right now, they went towards 1-2 line, which was the best defended spot from Tornado, and threw away the game. All eClipse had to do is bring the Type 5 Heavy down the 8 line, puts the RT on the cap, or puts a bad shot on the cap, or a 1-1-3 even, and kill the IS-4 with HE. Tornado Energy be forced into a reaction, and they would have lost the round.
I was going to say to you, what I expect now from Tornado is a full-on YOLO rush because it is Cliff. Try and catch eClipse with their pants down, but eClipse have a fairly heavy mobile lineup here, a super mobile lineup actually.
T100 LT, I don't know. I think the German one is probably better for Cliff because the gun
Would take that over a Batchat for Cliff?
ooh, the German light gets on the hill before anybody even spots it.
Okay.
So there's that. And there we go. The tier 8 choice by eClipse is going to be the M4190 Grand Finals, which you already talked about.
He doesn't have the autoloader. He's got a single shooter.
It doesn't have an autoloader.
Okay, earlier on you said it doesn't have the autoloader. You were talking.
That was
about
the
something.
M41 Bulldog.
Oh yeah, my bad. My bad. I should know that. I have that tank.
But yeah, standard opening here from Eclipse. And this is something that I've seen them do before. I think it was even at the finals or during the regular season. I think it was at the finals. They will push down the eastern side with those tanks towards G0, try and peek up, try and punish somebody on the corner. The TVP and the T100 LT from the middle area will try to crossfire, but so far there's nobody there from Tornado though.
eClipse are driving straight into a gun line here of Tornado. This is going to be over quite quickly, I'd imagine.
Well, if they don't check, Dargotzim is, if he drops down, he's dead, but they're not going to see it. As soon as they get spotted, Diodor and Server will make the play.
Oh, what a trap.
This is beautiful.
This is lovely. Now the fight starts. They don't know that those two Batchats are there. They're going to start getting the tanks of Eclipse.
They should wait still because
they're going to hold them.
Eclipse didn't use nearly enough ammo to justify. Ooh, maybe somebody will drive in towards them, but Eclipse didn't use nearly enough ammo for Server and Diodor to afford pouncing.
Now they're clipping out. Leadif and Drawcab are
now
clipping out. There they go. Trap is sprung. Diodor and Server pop up and say, hello, guys. They're going to focus Drawcab. Then they're going to focus on Leadif now. Diodor drops back over. Drawcab's like, oh, crap. I need to get out of here. Nicely done. Artillery's now aiming in that area as well. Leadif is getting shot at. Near you gets the kill on Dark God Zim. In the meantime, Server backs off. He's taking a lot of damage for it. Diodor still has a heck of a lot of shots. Leadif is stunned. He can't go anywhere. Photo Finish is on fire, burning to death at the moment.
Look how surprised Eclipse are. They have no idea what's going on whatsoever. They're trying to make plays all over the map. Ledef, Exo are running across. Photo Finish is peak in the middle. They're completely confused.
Diodor, oh, the double tap there. Diodor and Server getting shot in at the exact same time. Leadif's going to go down. Server has one more shot, but he doesn't want to peek because he can get hit himself. He's on a one shot. Artillery's aiming across into Drawcab now. Can he get the hit? He's aiming that area.
Don't forget, what does Tornado still have towards them? Double mouse.
Full health mouse.
No, two of them, which are pretty much...
Drawcab rushing in there. That was bold. He gets the kill on Server. He's on a reload now, but the other tank is going to reload quicker than him. Apoel taking a lot of damage here in the middle, but generally that doesn't really matter. Eclipse, Drawcab and Leadif one shots, 3 tanks left. It's GG.
Apoel was pretty much full HP. Tigers clipped onto him, and yet after that, Eclipse still have half the HP of what Tornado has available towards them. They were so confused by this trap. They had honestly no clue what was happening. I don't think they've ever...
Is that been a read by Tornado on Eclipse's tactics, saying we know what they're going to do?
Yes, it is.
That's really nice.
Because it's a read that a lot of teams will... Well, not the way that Tornado did it, but it's a read that a lot of teams will realize what's going to happen is when you see two Maus, you know they have to go into the middle at some point, and you also know that the team you're playing against can't play middle because they don't have the available autoloaders and guns. So it's an obvious play to go around the hill and take map control that way.
And Photo Finish, last man standing for his team. It looks like the Eclipse is actually going to be coming from the Tornado. Well, it's a battle of elemental phenomenal, I guess. Phenomenon, and well, the Tornado wins. 5-0. Look at them, so chilled.
Well, Tornado can always black out the moon, you know? If there's a tornado, you're not going to see the sun or the moon.
Indeed.
You won't be able to see the clips whatsoever.
Super chilled, super chilled. This is a result we expected. I have to hand it again to my colleague for his prediction of the round. He is very lucky today, so
I'm very lucky today?
Yep.
Really?
I'm more annoyed at that Tornado, the lobster, getting it right again.
Tornado, not Tornado.
Again, it's because it's this Tornado on the screen. My bad. Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, it's the play from Eclipse. One, it's kind of obvious that it's going to happen because you need to go around the hill to take map control because you can't let the Mouses close distance with you, because when they close the distance and have the HP available, you just die because two Mouses you know, your batches have 1,800 HP, the mouse has 3,200. That's 1,400 more. Once they come into the fight, it's pretty much 2 extra tanks they have there compared to your batch shots, right?